and everything would take forever. Way more time than I'd be willing to spend just to make these roads. But I mean, if I was using World Edit, I could easily edit in all this black wool and not place it or anything, and not dig out the area for it. But that just seems a bit too cheaty to me, and there's really no accomplishment in finishing a build then. That's just my opinion, though. If you like using World Edit, then more power to you. I've used World Edit before too, but really, I probably won't show all of the digging I do, but it'll still be being done by hand, because I just am not a fan of World Edit. I mean, it's useful for some things, but I do like spawning, but you know what? I'm a big fan of actually building things yourself, and the reason I canceled Operation Exploration I canceled it for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't actually feel like transferring the world over to my new computer, because it wasn't actually that far in anyway. And I'm not a huge fan of the mining. Really, in Minecraft, I'm more on the craft side of things. I don't really like to do much mining. It's decently boring, and it takes forever, and I'd rather just get the supplies right away, like this, and then build with them. I like to create huge builds, so, because I actually had an old series called Building Sabre City, which got cancelled incredibly quickly, mostly because I was much more of a noob at everything Minecraft, because that was at, like, early beta which I had still been playing for a decent amount of time there, so I wasn't a total noob, but I was kind of a noob at YouTube at that point, because it was very early on in I don't really want to call it my YouTube career, but my YouTube experience, I guess. It was just very early on, so man, need to change it to morning. That was when I was creating that series. I was whoops, I don't need to put stuff there. That's a crossing. Used to go to there and then go out from each side. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, I was very newbie at the time. That was before I got my blue snowball mic, so the mic quality is not great either, but I created like a sort of football stadium, but it was a fail, and it wasn't at all to scale. It was way too small, and I didn't really like the way it turned out. In fact, I think it went on for, maybe it was 8 episodes, it might have been less. It was either 3 or 8, I'm pretty sure it was 8, but I don't entirely remember. At any rate, it was somewhat of a fail, so, I don't know, if you want to go check it out, it is still up on my channel, but this is basically because I was calling Operation Exploration Reloaded at first. I don't think I'm going to do this with this, even though really it should be called Building Sabre City Reloaded, or something to that extent, but I'm just not gonna call it that. I really see no point in calling it that, because that was Operation Exploration went on my channel. I mean, the Operation Exploration Reloaded was maybe a week after Operation Exploration, the first one, was cancelled, because Operation Exploration originally was on the 4-pillar survival world. In fact, the reloaded version was too, but I had moved really far away from the 4-pillar survival part of it. This is kind of similar, though it took much longer for me to get back into this, because I failed so much in that this isn't wide enough. It should be 5 wide. But I failed so much on that original series that it took me this long to decide I could probably give it another shot and see if it works out, because I'd like to create a good city map. Those are pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of Broville. I used to be, but now I'm more of a fan of Newcraft City. In fact, I think my most viewed video is of Newcraft City. It's at a couple thousand views now, but that would be one of my most popular videos, so that might have something to do with my liking of Newcraft City, but it's not solely because of that. for that matter, the reason I did that series in the first place was because I did like the map, and I'm realizing now that I'm thinking maybe right there will be where I make a football stadium, and that's not going to be wide enough, so I'm going to need to edit in some smooth sandstone, make 3 stacks, and kind of from here out, maybe just, because I did it over there, so maybe I can just keep so I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a pattern here where I go, ah crap, well that was a fail. I'm gonna try to make this look like as natural as possible with it still having a pretty simple little pattern here. Ah, darn it. Keep doing that. Grr. This feels like it's going to take way longer than I want to take to do this, but this is one of the more boring parts of this because of the nature of this being an island, because this is just where I spawned. Let's see, where do I need to get to? I'm going to try to get to there. And then I'm going to need to fill some of that stuff in, too. Which is going to be a bit of a nuisance, I guess, would be the best word. So, I think I can pretty much go almost straight there at this point. And then go over a little bit more, just to make this look as good and natural as possible. And then I'm going to try to make it too deep so that when I build, for example, floors to buildings, it looks as, or it's as easy as possible, because if I need to, for example, dig out this sandstone to make the, well, for easy example right now is the road, I'm gonna need to have a layer below that, or it will be nice to have a layer below that, even though it does take a little longer. Whoops, I accidentally started not doing that though, because that was a fail. But I don't know if I'm gonna do this completely right now. I might take a break, go back to building the road, and then finish this perhaps off camera, or if not off camera, then just later. Man, I'm going through the sandstone very quickly, though. I do like that they added smooth sandstone. It just looks so much nicer. I should probably give you an update, too, on Minecraft multiplayer. I have not postponed that series. I haven't edited enough of it recently. It has been going up a lot, and I have a ton more footage. I mean, I'm actually going to end Season 1, because I'm going to be moving to a different place in that world. Because my town is built right in the way of an admin road, one is going to be extended straight through the town. And that's going to be, I mean, like, one is scheduled to extend right through the town. So I need to move a little bit to at least get to a better spot so that it doesn't, you know, go straight through the middle of my town. I'm still going to try to be close enough where... Why is this not going too deep? What's going on here? There. But I'm going to try to get it to the point where it's far enough away that the admin road won't be easily visible, but I can still, with a simple, like, minecart track or something, get back to my town for the supplies that are in it, because there are a lot of supplies in there. Give myself one more of those.